Good morning and happy Friday. I hope everyone is having an absolutely amazing start to their weekend. So today I kind of wanted to touch on some of my beginning of the year goals and just kind of check in with where I'm at on some of those goals. And these are actually two of my goals that I have completed. And so I just kind of wanted to give a little feedback for kind of what happened after I completed the goals. So back at the beginning of the year, I read these two amazing books. And one was The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. And of course I had that on my Kindle. So it was a digital version. I don't have an actual paperback of this book. And the second one was Sean Whalen, How to Make Blank Blank Happen. And these both books were really powerful and really impactful. And I was inspired to completely restructure my whole morning routine based on what I read from these two books. Now, I'm sure you've probably at least heard of the Miracle Morning because it seems like it was already wildly popular by the time I discovered the book. So I think most everyone has already heard of it. But if you haven't, I am going to put a link to both books in the description box. So at the very least, please go and check them out. But after reading the books, one thing I wanted to do is the Miracle Morning has a Miracle Morning 30-day challenge. So I wanted to do the 30-day challenge and just kind of incorporate the Miracle Morning into my daily routine. So I took these little happy planner pages that I had and I set up basically on each book. I set up the main points of the book and then I used some of my little journaling stickers and I marked off every day, each day that I did each of the components of the book. So this book, How to Make Shit Happen, the components of it is called the Core 4. And it's based on 4 principles, which is passion, your relationships, whether it be your romantic relationship with your significant other, relationships with your friends, your coworkers, your family, children, parents, whatever. It's just about the relationships that you have, building on them, and how you continue to give something to those relationships every day. Power, which is your body, which for the most part is, choosing to fuel your body with healthy food choices, exercise, water, just giving your body the things that it needs. Purpose, which is your mind, which is like, reading, studying, taking classes, any kind of enrichment, like self-enrichment for your mind. And then the last one is production, which is your business, which in my case, I do have a full-time job. So there's that. But then I also am working on obtaining my degree because there's like a goal that I have for myself for the job that I want when I finish school. So I kind of put my business into that category, the things that I do that are working toward my dream job versus the job that I have currently. And so the whole point of the book is every day you set a daily timed goal or a task to complete that will move you towards your goal, or a task to move you to your goal. And that's one thing every day that's working on your relationships, one thing that you do for your body, one thing you do for your mind, and one thing that you do for your business every day. And the only rules are they have to be done every day. They have to be timed and scheduled, and it's non-negotiable. So like as far as the relationship, I had a timer set on my phone to go off every day at 11:30. And at that time, I would send my husband like a sweet little text, whether it was some little flirty text or just some little something to tell him how much I appreciate him, just something every day. And, and then there were days that I would have scheduled to send texts to my children or, plan time to FaceTime with my grandchildren, call my mom, just whatever, as long as every day I was doing something to work on my relationships. So I did these kind of simultaneously because the point of the Miracle Morning is an acronym called S.A.V.E.R.S, which Hal calls your lifesavers. And the S stands for silence, which it can be used as meditation, prayer time, or just sitting in purposeful silence. Just some quiet time. Some mornings I would do meditation. I have the little app. There's hundreds and dozens of apps that you can use to do some self-guided meditation. I used Headspace. But some mornings I get up before my husband does. I don't have to be at work until 9:30 in the morning, but I get up between 3:30 and 4:30, and so I always made a point to have some quiet time alone in the morning. Even though I work in the home and I'm at home by myself all day, that's not to me really considered quiet time or downtime, because obviously I'm working. Even though no one else is in the house, it's not really alone time because I'm focusing on emails, phone calls, everything that's work related. The A is for affirmations. And I started out, I have some affirmations playlists that are downloaded on my Apple Music. And when I would go for my morning walk, I will play those affirmations as I'm walking. YouTube has hundreds and hundreds of affirmations videos. Sometimes when I would log in and start working, I would pull up an affirmations video and just kind of let it play. Even though I was working, on my work stuff and concentrating on that, the affirmations were always playing in the background. And I don't know if you believe in subliminal messaging or not, but I do. So I still believe that I was constantly feeding my mind all that positive energy, even while I was working. The V is for visualization and creating a vision board. Now, part of the Miracle Morning is to look at your vision board every day or spend some time, working on your vision board every day. I don't have an actual physical vision board, but one thing that Hal suggests is that you can actually, in your quiet time, close your eyes and kind of picture yourself in your dream job or on your dream vacation, or just whatever it is that you envision for yourself. And part of that is what I would do when I would go walking and be listening to my affirmations. I would picture kind of the dream life I wanted. So I kind of incorporated a little bit of exercise with my affirmations, with my vision, kind of all bunched in there together. Which leads us to E, which is exercise. Whether it was walking, doing beach body workouts, going to the gym, going to the pool to swim for a little while, getting some exercise in every day was vital to this. The R is for reading, which is pretty much self-explanatory. You read something every day. And the S is for scribing or journaling. So that's how they go hand in hand, I feel like, with the core 4, because, well, the relationships, there's nothing really specific in the Miracle Morning that relates to your relationships, but visualization, maybe you could picture, a dream vacation with my husband, or moving back to Georgia, being close to my family. So all the things, that I could envision for myself could relate to my relationships. The power body exercise, that is definitely reading, purpose the mind. Those are 2 things. And production, which is like, building on your business. I felt like reading and visualization, those could kind of go hand in hand too. Visualizing my dream job and when I finish my degree, different things. So I felt like they went hand in hand enough to do these simultaneously. So on the core 4, these 2 journaling stickers were for 31 days, and I did the challenge for 30 days. But if you'll see, the only thing I skipped in the entire 30 days was on day 9, I did not exercise. And so I wasn't trying to cheat myself. I left day 9 blank on both checkoffs. I can't even tell you, that's been 2 months ago, why I didn't work out. I just know that I did not work out that morning. So I just kind of, like I said, I completed this a little over a month ago, but I wanted to wait to give an update because I wanted to wait and see kind of how things went after the 30 days were up. And I was, purposefully doing these steps every morning. They say it takes 21 days for a habit to actually stick with us. And this was 30 days. So I wanted to give myself enough time to really see that after the 30 days were over, were any of these still happening in my morning routine without having to purposefully go back and look at the steps of the Miracle Morning. And ironically enough, reading is like second nature for me now. I wake up, like I said, between 3:30 and 4:30, and before I do anything, before I do my house chores, before I pack Henry's lunch, fix breakfast, before I start a load of laundry, before I do anything, I do a minimum of 30 minutes of reading. If I can get up at 3:30, I will read for a whole hour. If I get up at 4, sometimes I'll read for a whole hour. I do at least 30 minutes of reading every morning. So that is definitely a habit that is now ingrained in me. Excuse me. Exercise, that has been pretty consistent every morning, even if it's a 30-minute walk around the pond, a 30-minute beach body workout. The only exception has been last week. I babysat my grandson, so I didn't work out for the whole week. And I say the whole week, I only had him for 3 days. But having a newborn and sleeping for like 2 to 3 hour stretches at a maximum for like 3 days wore me out. So literally for an entire week, I have not done any working out. But that had been, up to that point, an everyday thing. Every weekend, Henry and I go hiking at Lakes Park. And so I feel like now exercise is a very, very adamant part of my daily routine. Whether I do it first thing in the morning, whether Henry and I go to the gym in the evenings, go to the pool, or go to Lakes Park in the afternoon, on the weekend, I can believe and I can see that exercise is now an absolute part of my daily life. Visualization, that's kind of really hit or miss, honestly. For the most part, everything we do, we usually do, whether consciously or subconsciously, with something in mind, like some type of result in mind. So every day that I read some self-help book or I do one of my lessons in my coursework, obviously, whether intentional or not, there's a visualization of completing, that process and what will be the result at the end. So I kind of feel like visualization is always there, whether it's, purposeful visualization or just at the back of my mind thinking, oh, I can't wait to finish my degree and move on to the next step toward my career goals. Affirmations, again, most days I do listen to those while I'm working, but I honestly don't listen to affirmations every single day now. But then again, I look at my planner every day and I get a lot of the Happy Planner stickers, and most of them have a lot of motivational quotes, which I have in my planner. So every day I'm looking at motivational quotes, which, could be considered affirmations. And I usually post something either on Instagram or on Facebook that's some type of motivational quote / affirmation. Journaling is something that I've definitely stuck with. I journal every single morning, pretty much without fail. And if I skip a day or two, I always have on Pinterest, you can always get these lists of like little journal prompts, like journal challenges or whatever. It's like a list of little journal prompts. So if I miss the day and don't really have anything specific to write about the day, anything that happened, I will just look through a list, pick a journal prompt, and just kind of jot down some thoughts and ideas about that particular topic. And then silence again. I still wake up at least an hour, anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half before Henry does in the morning. So I always have my quiet time. Whether I meditate or not, there's at least always some downtime. Because I am an introvert and an empath. And if you know anything about introverts and empaths, then you know that we have to have that quiet, alone time to recharge. Even if I'm not anywhere where there's a crowd of people or anything big going on that like drains me of my energy, we still just have to have a little bit of that alone time every day. And so early in the morning, that is my alone time. So that's when I have my silence. So let's see, here was exercise, reading, working, and yes, every day I do some type of work, my college courses, I take other additional online courses. I have way too many courses going on right now, so I'm definitely working on that every day. And the only other thing is relationships. And yes, that is just something that I don't think I really need a prompt, every day to do something in my relationships. My family, my relationship with Henry, my relationship with my family is so important to me that I have to do something every day to reach out and connect with my family. So that is it. That is how my Miracle Morning 30-day challenge went, and kind of an update of how most of this, pretty much really all of this, is sticking with me even beyond doing the 30-day challenge. So I completed the 30 days and I just kind of monitored myself for an additional 30 days. So it's been 2 months since I went in and did this, where I actually went back and checked off every day what I was doing or that I had completed it. And so for an additional month, pretty much like second nature now without thinking it through. I'm still going through all the steps of the S.A.V.E.R.S. and it has just really changed my outlook on life because, you know, a lot of people start like a gratitude journal because they think if every day they write something that they're grateful for, then it kind of changes the outlook of their whole day. Because if you're too busy being thankful for something or grateful for something, then you don't have time to be bitter about other things. And that's kind of how this works. You know, like being purposeful in your actions and how you start your day can really set the tone for the rest of your day. So if you've never read The Miracle Morning or you've never heard of it, I really think you should check them out. Check the link in the description box and at least look over them. Hal Elrod has a website and he has lots and lots of resources that you can have access to without even actually buying the book and reading the book, but just at least look into it, look up other videos, listen to other people who have done the Miracle Morning, and, you know, consider yourself given a chance to do the Miracle Morning 30-day challenge. And if you do, I'd love to hear from you. Or if you have done the Miracle Morning 30-day challenge, I would love to hear, you know, how things went for you after the 30 days were over. Like, did it stick with you as well? Or is there any part of the 30-day, not the 30-day, but any part of the lifesavers that you've dropped from your morning routine? Like I said, the affirmations are really not an everyday purposeful thing, and so much not the visualization. But other than that, the rest of the Miracle Morning steps are pretty much now a part of my everyday routine and probably will be for the rest of my life. Hopefully, as long as I can read and write and get up and move. So, if you've made it all the way to the end, thank you so much. I really appreciate that you've taken the time to watch this. And I hope that you have an absolutely incredibly amazing day. Bye.